What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this not so beautiful Monday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody doing out here? Big shout out to everybody that's currently in the chat. Hello to the Twitter world, hello to the YouTube world, and of course, hello to the Facebook world. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys for coming through today. We are going to talk about Deandre Hopkins and what the what can happen to this Arizona Cardinal team? Let's just put it that way, ladies and gentlemen. But let's just kind of paint a picture here for you guys that are Arizona sports fans. Now, if you guys don't know, if you guys don't follow Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Suns are actually playing round 2 today against the Dallas Mavericks. And I was really excited, right? Ready to go. Let's get this NBA playoffs going. I am stoked, ready to go. And then this bombshell of a news came out. And report came out from Adam Schefter. And of course, news went everywhere, and it was pertaining to Deandre Hopkins violating the PED NFL policy. Now, there was also word out there stating that Deandre Hopkins and another of his people that represent Deandre Hopkins, they didn't know that he was taking this PED. So I don't think he was fully involved when he took this. I don't think it was his intent to be like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, this, and that. I don't think that was Deandre Hopkins' intent. But this news apparently was a thing since like November of last year. And I know once I posted this either on Instagram or Twitter, a lot of people kind of seem to say, whoa, thank God that we picked up, Hollywood Brown, or this is why we picked up Hollywood Brown. Let me tell you one thing here, ladies and gentlemen. Hollywood Brown is not a number one wide receiver. I think it's very foolish for a lot of people to be as optimistic as I'm seeing out there. Now, I do think that we have the weapons. I think we have some good weapons out there. But to think that we're going to be able to have Hollywood Brown step into the role of Deandre Hopkins is absolutely outlandish. Legit. Like, I'm just going to put that out straight out right now. He came in here for the purpose of being a number 2 wide receiver, and I don't think he's going to completely flourish as a number 1, at least not in the first 6 games of the season. Now, can it happen later on to the season? Yeah, absolutely. 110% absolutely, it can definitely happen. But this is kind of one of those situations where what are we going to do, right? What are the Arizona Cardinals going to go from here? Now, if we did know this in November, in the whole situation in terms of him, testing positive for PEDs, then realistically, yeah, I think the Arizona Cardinals, probably one of the biggest things that we're looking into was trading for that veteran wide receiver, and that being, Hollywood Brown. I think it's good in terms of the chemistry that he has with Kyler Murray. Now, I hope it translates very well into the NFL like they had in the, the collegiate level. We all hope and pray, right? Fingers crossed that might be the situation here. But DeAndre Hopkins not being here for the first 6 games is huge. Is absolutely huge. Now, I ended up posting when he got injured. Now, this was last year, obviously, right? He ended up getting injured. He's out for the season. And there's a lot of positive people on the comments. And I'm not going to sit here and say, don't be positive. You do whatever you want to do. But I think there's a real concern going on within this locker room right now. And being that we don't have DeAndre Hopkins is definitely something to kind of worry about, right? There's still some veteran wide receivers out there that the Arizona Cardinals could target. Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, Des Bryant said that he wanted to play as an Arizona Cardinal. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to be playing it by ear, and I think we're going to continue to roll with the punches, and I think we're going to continue to pick or play with the players that we actually have. Now, the first 6 games, we don't know what the extent of that's going to be, right? We're waiting till May 12th. We're waiting to see what the regular schedule is going to be for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I don't think it's very optimistic when we look at the teams that we're going to be playing, the AFC West and the NFC West, and of course of other sprinkled in teams there that have seemed to beat us multiple times, the Panthers. Definitely not looking good when it comes down to that. Now, the good thing here, I guess if we're looking at the positive side, the light at the end of the tunnel is that Cliff Kingsbury has a lot of time to really figure out what we need to do moving forward. He's got a lot of time, right? He has May, June, July, And August is the start of preseason. So he's got a lot of time to make sure that AJ Green is fully involved, Hollywood Brown is fully involved, the tight end that we ended up getting, in the draft, which I personally don't expect to see too much of him. I really do. I'm just being 110% honest with you. I know a lot of people are very optimistic about him being available, in this offense. I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Zach Ertz and Max Williams. Yes, we don't have an ETA on Max Williams, but I do think he's going to find a way to start in the season. And I think that he's going to probably take one of those seasons where we don't see him in the beginning, but we most likely will see him towards the end of the season. So we're kind of just waiting, right? We're waiting to see what's going to happen with our schedule. Now, if we have a very favorable schedule, then hey, kudos, awesome. I think the Arizona Cardinals can squeak by with the weapons that we do have. And what I mean squeak by is possibly 3-3, possibly 4-2, possibly 2-4, just kind of really depending on what the schedule really looks like. I just really hope that we don't see the Panthers anytime in the first 6 weeks, because that's going to be an automatic L for the Arizona Cardinals there. But the AFC West looks stacked this year, absolutely stacked. NFC West, in terms of it being the best division in football, I think that's kind of fizzled out at this very moment. I think the AFC West has a very, very good, strong possibility that is going to be the best division of football at this very moment, in my personal opinion. So what are the Arizona Cardinals going to do here, right? What are the Arizona Cardinals going to do with Deandre Hopkins out? I honestly don't think they're going to do very much. I know there's a lot of people who want Julio. There's a lot of people who want Dez. Well, maybe not Dez. Some people might have mentioned the fact that possibly bringing in Antonio Brown. I don't think we're going to do anything. Like, something in my gut tells me that we're going to be rolling with who we have right now. I think that we're going to be rolling with who we have right now. And, obviously Hollywood Brown is definitely somebody to pique my interest. Definitely the connection with him and Kyler Murray. We could only really hope and pray that their connection is going to flourish very, very well coming into the NFL. But the first 6 games, I don't personally think it's going to be a focal point in this 2022 season. Now, it very well might. The trend that we've been seeing so far for this Arizona Cardinal, Cliff Kingsbury's era is the fact that we start off very hot and then we fizzle out towards the end of the season. Maybe we won't start off so hot. And maybe we'll actually hit our stride towards the end of the season. Right? Fingers crossed. That's what we're all hoping for, right? That's all we're all hoping for the fact of the matter that the Arizona Cardinals might be able to finish a season strong and go into the playoffs, and possibility of winning more than 500 of their games, or at least go 500 in the 6-game span where Deandre Hopkins will not be here. So I want to take it to what you guys have to say, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Now, I see some comments already about DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is – I still think he's still one of my favorite players on here. I don't think that we should be looking at this in a negative light. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins had an intent to take these PEDs with the intention of destroying the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think his intent was to do anything negative. I think it was one of those mistakes that happened where, unfortunately, now Arizona Cardinal fans and the Arizona Cardinal organization has to kind of suffer at this very moment because of the actions. But I don't think I'm taking this into a negative light for DeAndre Hopkins. He's still our number one wide receiver. We're still a lot better with DeAndre Hopkins than we are without DeAndre Hopkins. So in terms of people calling anything bad about DeAndre Hopkins, I'm gonna stay away from that or not shine any light on that, just because to me, I don't think his intent was to be negative. I just think it's kind of one of those things where we're gonna sweep it on the rug and say SHIT happens. It sucks, and I fully understand, but it's definitely up to this coaching staff to really put the best players available and come up with some sort of game plan for the first 6 weeks in order for us to at least be a 500 team. At least be a 500 team. I don't expect us to go 6-0, especially without DeAndre Hopkins. Now, will we turn into more of a running heavy type of team? Possibly. Will we turn more into a team that utilizes their tight ends more? Possibly. Maybe not. But it opens up the door for the Arizona Cardinals to really do a lot of different things on the offense, right? Cliff Kingsbury's the guru. That's why he was brought in here. So he's got 3 months to figure this out, ladies and gentlemen. 3 months. We're sitting in the beginning of May at this very moment, and we have, well, I guess 3 months is where preseason starts. And I would really hope and pray that he would have an offense established without DeAndre Hopkins going into the preseason, right? A boy can hope. A boy can hope. So I'm going to take it to the comments here, ladies and gentlemen. Going to take it to the comments and let's see what you guys have to say here. Cardinalson, what's up, man? His bro, the fact that he took masking agent proves he knew what he was doing was wrong. Am I wrong? Possibly. I mean, that's kind of the same situation with Pat, right? Pat P. Kind of the same situation with Pat P. In terms of, without knowing everything, I'm not going to be sitting here and pointing the finger. Let's just put it out that way. Until more information comes out and then I fully engage myself in terms of doing the research that I feel like I should do in terms of, before I can kind of, point the finger. I think I'm going to stay clear of that just right now in terms of until I can educate myself fully so I can actually make a complete decision. Right now, I'm just saying SOS for the Arizona Cardinals. That's kind of where I stand right now. SOS for the Arizona Cardinals, because we definitely need DeAndre Hopkins, and there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are a much, much better team with DeAndre Hopkins on the field than we are without. Juliana, what's up? Appreciate the super chat. Thank you so very much. It says, blessing in disguise. Hop will be back. Will help the final run. Well, I think that's what I think that's what we're trying to, kind of spin this narrative, right? We're trying to spin this narrative to be like, the Arizona Cardinals are good in the beginning of the season. We suck in the end of the season. And now I think we like to kind of spin the narrative being like, hey, well, let's flip the switch, right? So let's suck towards the beginning and then kind of come back strong towards the end. But I think the truth of the matter is the reason why we suck towards the end of the season is because that our coaching staff or the players just in general, the whole Cardinal organization in general, do not adjust to what the defense puts out there. We have the same playbook from the beginning of week 1 all the way to week 17. And there's going to be, week 18. And there's going to be some defensive-minded coordinators or head coaches. Their main job is to rebuttal that. Their main job is to come out and say, hey, this is how I'm going to beat you. And it's worked so far. So, yeah, I want to look at positive too. I want to look at it saying, yeah, we're going to suck in the beginning, but then we're going to make the final run towards the end of the season, right? Fingers crossed. That's all what we're all hoping for. But I think realistically here, I really want to take a look at the season. I want to take a look at the schedule. I want to take a look at the schedule to figure out who we're playing in the first 6 weeks to really determine who or what we can possibly be in the 2022 season for the first six games. Because 6-0, that has became not a realistic thing anymore for the Arizona Cardinals. 6-0, scratch that out, throw that out the window. I don't think that's a possibility for the Arizona Cardinals here, ladies and gentlemen. I really, really don't think that's a possibility here. Big shout out here to, I got another super chat coming up here right now from King Savage. Appreciate you. He says, if we go 3-3 or better in the season while waiting for DeAndre Hopkins' suspension to be over, then we should be good. Yeah, 100%. 100%. But that's the thing too. Like, who are we going to play the first 6 weeks? Like, realistically, I think 3-3 is a possibility. Please, NFL, do not put the Carolina Panthers, do not put Patrick Mahomes in the beginning of our schedule, please. Or even Russell Wilson. Now, I know it's asking too much because I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing some sort of NFL. We're going to be playing some sort of NFC West team. Yeah, right. That's realistically there. We will see what happens. I think that's going to have a lot to play. It's going to have a lot to play into this whole situation of What are the Arizona Cardinals going to do? Are we going to be a three? Are we going to be a 500 team? Because we got DeAndre Hopkins. 3-3 doesn't seem so bad. It doesn't seem so bad at all. But I want to take a look at the schedule. The schedule is going to be coming out in about 10 days, I believe. I think it's going to be May the 12th, I believe, is when it's actually going to be coming out. And right now we're sitting in May the 2nd. So we still got a little bit of time before we figure out who the first teams are going to be for the Arizona Cardinals coming through. Another super chat coming in here for my guy, Joshua. Oh, here we go. What's up, Joshua? LA Rams Shaw. What's up, man? He says, hey, brother, one guy doesn't make or break a team. You know, that's a funny thing because for the Arizona Cardinals, that's the case. For the Arizona Cardinals, that's the case. One guy breaks the team. And unfortunately, DeAndre Hopkins was such a big focal point. We saw the crash and burn and what we ended up becoming. Now, I think realistically, being that Cliff Kingsbury has this much time to prepare, and he actually technically had since the end of last year, technically, right? He had. So I would really hope that he's going to come up with some sort of mastermind plan that we're going to be able to be at least a 3-3 team going into the 2022 season, because I know what my guy Joshua says, that one guy doesn't make or break a team, but that kind of seems to be what happens for the Arizona Cardinals. I feel like when things go very well, chicka, we're doing just so positive. We're hitting our stride. We're 6-0, 7-0. We're starting off 10-2. We're so good. But when things go bad, it's like a domino effect. It's like a domino effect, and it's pretty bad. It's definitely pretty bad. Joshua back up with another super chat. He says, missed the round table, man. Can't wait till next year. Well, actually, appreciate you for saying that, man. Well, we actually do have a roundtable scheduled for tomorrow. If you guys are not subscribed to the NFC West Network, in the description of this video, we are bringing at least the first roundtable back to talk about the draft, to talk about DeAndre Hopkins, talk about Deebo Samuels, everything that you could possibly imagine. We're going to be talking about tomorrow on the roundtable. So highly recommend you subscribing to the NFC West Network. It is going to be in the description of this video. Just FYI, there's an easy plug for you. Jordan P says, this forces Cliff to adapt now. That's the positive in this case. Well, yeah, exactly. 100%. This forced him to adapt now. And that's exactly what we need as an Arizona Cardinal fan base. We need him to be the guy that he was brought in for, right? We need him to be that offensive guru. We need him to be that guy that's going to put these offensive players in the best position to succeed. Getting Zach Ertz involved, getting Max Williams involved, getting Rondell Moore involved, Hollywood Brown, AJ Green, all that different stuff. And it also is up to the players too, right? It's not all on the coaching staff. Somebody needs to step up. Somebody needs to step up in this offense. Is it going to be Zach Ertz? Hollywood Brown? Is AJ Green going to have a really good beginning of the season? Is Rondell Moore going to have an explosive part of the season? Who knows, right? Who knows? Are we going to be a run-heavy team? Is James Conner going to be the guy that we all loved to see last year? Is he going to be that guy? Who knows? And I think that's kind of that situation that we're kind of dealing with right now, right? It's a lot of unknown right now. It's a lot of unknown. But in terms of for fans, this is the typical Arizona sports fans can't have nice things. This is it right here. This is the typical Arizona sports fans can't have nice things. And the reason why I say that is because everything so far seemed to be working, pretty well. I wouldn't say that we have a great offseason, but let's be honest. I think that the Hollywood Brown trade might have sparked a little, excitement, right? Like a little baby ignite throughout the fan base, a little excitement, especially because Kyler Murray and Hollywood Brown. But because that happened, there had to be something negative that happened for the Arizona Cardinals, right? It had to be. And this is it, right? This is exactly what it is. This is the yin to the yang. This is the situation where we can't have nice things because the moment it happens, something bad happens. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks as an Arizona Cardinal fan. It sucks as an Arizona sports fan just in general. we got to make through. We got to make it through. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about this, right? That there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. The Arizona Cardinals have it played out to where we have 3 months to figure it out before preseason. Now, is it going to happen? It's remain to be seen. Definitely remain to be seen. Terry, what's up? Terry says, I'm just bummed out. I am too. I am absolutely too. I don't think there is a situation here where we can. I guess the only positive light, the only thing that I can think of right now is that we suck in the end of the season. And we're so good in the beginning of the season. And then let's flip the script. That's the kind of only positive thing that I can see right now. And Hollywood Brown connection with Kyler. It's the only thing. The draft to me was okay, cool. I mean, there to me, I'm not gonna hype up the draft any more than I really should. There's some people ask me and then send me a lot of DMs. Are you gonna recap the draft? No, I'm gonna stop doing that because I don't really know what these players are gonna be. I'm sick and tired of the hype that comes with a lot of these players and just no production has come out. Now, I don't think that's the fault of the players at all. I think coaching staff has a lot to do with that. So I'm just kind of going to be in a situation where, cool, we drafted this player. Awesome. Let's hope and pray that he's going to start for us because we need the production. That's kind of the situation that I'm in right now. But Fostos, we can't have nice things. Facts. We absolutely can't. This is the situation that we're living in right now. This is the world that we're living in right now, ladies and gentlemen. We can't have nice things. We can't. There's somebody out there. There's somebody out there gunning for the Arizona Cardinals. Somebody in Baltimore must have. Somebody out there must have put some sort of voodoo in. Somebody in Baltimore must have somehow put a voodoo on the Arizona Cardinals. Had to. I'm not excited for this next season. It's fair. You're not wrong, though. Zaven Collins was the pointless pick, Ace. Okay, appreciate you. And see, that's the thing, too. I'm done hyping up players. I want to give you guys realism. I don't want to compare a player to somebody else and give you expectations that this guy's going to change our franchise because we have yet to see it, especially in this whole this whole Steve Keim era. The only one that's kind of really changed our organization is Kyler. But with Kyler comes drama. With Kyler comes in drama. So let's do this. I'm going to open up the phone lines for you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Now, granted, we only have 35 people in here right now. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so very much. We're not going to take too long on this, but I do want to open up the phone lines. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Are you in the mode where you're thinking, don't worry, man, we got this. Our offense is built for this. Or are you in, I'm panicking, Mike. This is it. It's over for us. SOS. Let me know. I'm opening up the phone lines right now. I just placed the link and I pinned it on the chat of YouTube. If this is your first time on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook, I highly, highly recommend you coming onto YouTube. And if you want to jump on, click onto the link. The link has been posted on the comments. It's pinned on the top of the chat. I want to hear from the Red Sea. I want to hear from the Bird Gang. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Are you guys on a positive mode? Are you guys, man, I'm panicking right now. Let me know. The link has been posted on the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say at this very moment because I'm finding it hard to try to stay positive, right? I'm finding it very, very hard to try to stay positive as an Arizona Cardinal fan because we cannot have nice things. Has Larry hasn't retired yet? Maybe he takes overall number one for the first 6 games. Probably, right? Bring back Larry Fitzgerald, 100%. Bring back Larry Fitzgerald. Can we get some Larrys in the comments below? Larry. I would be more than welcoming to bring back Larry Fitzgerald. I'm actually really silly, and I actually hate myself for not involving Larry Fitzgerald in my list in the beginning. I said Julio Jones, I said Dez Bryant, I said Antonio Brown, but I didn't bring back Larry. I'm an idiot. What the heck is wrong with me? Put some Larrys on the chat, y'all. All right, let's go ahead and open up the phone lines. We got a couple people that want to chime in. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Let's start off with my guy Cardinal Sin. Cardinal Sin, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube. And what's up, brother? Talk to me, man. How you feeling?
Doing, brother? Good to see you again.
Yeah, man. You too.
First of all, go Suns.
Absolutely.
Second of all, it sucks. The fact that But I was originally on Hopkins' side because there are a list of PEDs that are not allowed in the NFL. For all he knew, he could have taken something he didn't know he was supposed to. But the fact that he used a masking agent proves he knew what he was doing. And it's pathetic and it's sad because he is DeAndre Hopkins. He doesn't need this chemicals injected in his body to prove who he is. He's freaking Hopkins. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league. That being said, I'm really disappointed, but I believe our offense is capable of thriving without him. It all comes down to two people, Kingsbury and Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. Excuse me. Kyler Murray needs to develop chemistry with his receivers. AJ Green, obviously he has some chemistry going on with Brown. The tight ends, McBride, Ertz, Williams, everybody. He needs to start developing chemistry with all those guys. And Kingsbury, he needs to adjust his offense. It's obvious he could not thrive because his offense was more built towards Hopkins, and that's why we kind of faltered during the season. And if Kingsbury is that legit coach, then he should be able to prove this. He should be able to flex his offense around to make it thrive with all the weapons that we have right now. I'm not blaming Kime anymore. It's all on Kingsbury right now, and he has to show it. Yeah, that's really all I have to say right now.
Appreciate you, brother, man. As always, man. Thank you so very much for being here, man. Peace out, dude.
Brother, good seeing you again.
You too. All right, let's get my guy Soul Pancakes up in here right now. And yes, absolutely, go Suns. There's gonna be a Suns game. It's gonna be starting at 7. So we're gonna cut this stream down. You know what I mean? We're not gonna go the full hour like we usually do. But let me get my guy Soul Pancakes up in here right now. You're live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up, dude? How you doing?
I didn't think I was gonna be second. I jumped in and then I jumped back out and then I jumped back in. So I was like, man, I must be down the line. So anyways, like, I don't know if it's going to be a big of a loss as people are thinking, because I think last year, production-wise, Hopkins didn't have a single 100-yard game. It was actually Kirk and AJ Green who had a few 100-yard games, but you could say it's because they handled the number 2 receivers and stuff, and that's fair to say. He is a really good red zone receiver, so whenever we needed those touchdowns in the red zone, that connection was still there and stuff. Mm-hmm. But this is going to be another 6 games that we haven't seen him. So we really haven't seen him since, I think it was like the Los Angeles Rams game of last season. So this offense, as I mentioned, it's all about attacking grass. It's all about making adjustments at the line of scrimmage, having the same type of formations and having different types of routes depending on the defense you're facing and stuff. So I haven't been the most positive about the Hollywood Brown thing until right now, because he's more familiar with the air raid than any of these other receivers are. And obviously you have that, and you have Kyler Murray being 2 of the most familiar type of players in this type of offense with the air raid and stuff. I think they're also trying to adjust the offense to be more like 2019, where they had more heavier personnel. They had Kyler Murray have more design runs and stuff, even if they were for like 5 or 6 yards or whatever. Right. So I think they're trying to get – the reason why they drafted McBride is because Max Williams is – I love Max Williams, but he doesn't stay on the field very long. He's very, very injury prone. So I think they're trying to do more 12 personnel sets with 2 tight ends on each end of the offensive line to give those tackles help, because if one thing's not going to happen, if Kyler Murray's not going to be receiving the ball from under center more often, you have to give him help on the outside with those edge rushers. So this is where the chip help comes. So I can see more emphasis on the tight ends. I can see more emphasis on running inside zone with the type of personnel that they have. And I can see more chip help on the outside that McBride guy, he's a really great great blocker. Zach Ertz is a good pass pro, not so much on run blocking. Of course, we all know Max Williams is a good run blocker. But yeah, like, I see more 12 personnel now. I think they're just kind of trying to shift back into that because they think that's more of a sustainable type of offense than having an offense where you have 5 wide and you spread the field and you have Kyler Murray lining up 5-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I don't think that they can survive with that type of offense and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, like I said, I was I think we still gave up too much for Hollywood Brown, but at least in this sense, Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray having that chemistry and also running this type of offense, it's going to help them out immensely at least till DeAndre Hopkins gets back on the field. Then I don't know what they're going to try to do. I don't know if they're going to keep Hollywood on the outside with DeAndre. I think that's what they should do because Hollywood plays more on the outside than in the slot. I don't think he's a Christian Kirk replacement. I'm not saying he's not good enough for that. I'm just saying you're moving somebody out of their strength. So I think that's what we have to expect. We'll see in the first couple of games how his connection goes. And then, just that's what I'm looking forward to now. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see how this connection goes and how this type of offense is going to run. But that's all I got to say about that.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you, brother, man. As always, have a great rest of your day. And great call out, Soul Pancakes. Great call out. I mean, it definitely is one of those situations where we need to figure out, we need to adjust, right? Whatever we've been doing prior, things have changed without DeAndre Hopkins. Whether you want to believe it or not, if you want to be a positive fan, a negative fan, things have changed without DeAndre Hopkins. We need to be able to put Kyler Murray under center. We have to do those things. We have to make sure we run the ball more, be more physical at the line. The whole spread everybody out. It's been exposed. It's been exposed. And I think if you look at the Lions and what they have done to us, if you look at the Panthers and what they have done to us, this is a copycat league, ladies. Copycat league, ladies and gentlemen. And I do think that that's going to put it's going to put the blueprint for the Arizona Cardinals, right? And how to beat them, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Now, let me go ahead and say this right now. I know there's some people out here right now in the comments. If you do want to jump on, ladies and gentlemen, the link is pinned at the chat of YouTube. Definitely go and click on it and just jump on through if you want to come on in. Now, I did notice that there was a tweet that ended up coming out from Adam Schefter 44 minutes ago. So let's look at that real quick while we wait for some people if they do decide to come on in. So I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. And I'm going to be, let's see here. So I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. I'm going to be showing you this Twitter post that I ended up seeing here. If you guys do want to jump on, come on in. But you should be seeing Twitter right now. I'm going to be reading what Adam Schefter ended up posting here. So this happened at 5:26 p.m. It says DeAndre Hopkins brand manager Doug Sanders texted this tonight about his client, who was suspended 6 games earlier in the day. And then this is what the response was. Today, the NFL announced their decision to suspend DeAndre Hopkins as a result of a November drug test that came back with the trace of elements of a banned substance. DeAndre and everyone who worked with him is completely shocked by this finding because he's extremely diligent about what he puts in his body. His October and December tests were negative, and we are investigating how the November test came back positive. DeAndre is committed to demonstrating that he did not knowingly take a banned substance. He has never once tested positive throughout his 10-year career. We're currently testing every product he used to figure out how this could have happened and will release any new information as soon as we have it. So that was the latest tweet that we ended up getting from Adam Schefter himself, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Now, granted, this is coming from DeAndre Hopkins's brand manager is what I'm showing here on my end. So very, obviously, was it politically correct? Very, very button up, very to the point where, maybe he's just covering up. Who knows, right? And I think that's kind of one of the main reasons where I'm like, I don't want to jump to the conclusions right now. I don't think I have enough to really kind of come down to the nitty gritty saying that DeAndre Hopkins did it for malicious intent. DeAndre Hopkins did it because he wanted to get back on the field, or DeAndre Hopkins didn't know. So I don't have enough information personally. So like I said, I'm going to just play this live stream just saying we're SHIT out of luck right now, and we need to figure it out. We need to figure it out. That's just a point blank right there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no point of pointing the finger, you did this, he should have known that, he should. At this point, we are SHIT out of luck at this very moment, and we need to figure it out. Changing the offense, doing something different, putting Kyler Murray under center more, being a more, run-heavy type of team for the first 6 weeks. I don't care what we have to do. We just got to get through the first 6 weeks. That's just legit. Let me get to the super chat real quick. Free Matter for the Blind coming up clutch with a $5 donation. Appreciate you, my guy. He says, there you have it. A John Jones situation. He's innocent. Well, so I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming. And like I said, tread very lightly, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes down to this brand manager, they probably have a lot of templates, right? They probably have a lot of templates ready to go that needs to be sent out if need be. So whether you want to think that Deandre Hopkins did this and he was trying to mask it, or whether or not, I'm going to let that to your imagination to decide there. But for me personally, all I have to say is we need to figure this stuff out. We need to figure it out. But appreciate the super chat, my guy. Appreciate the super chat. I do see Terry up here says, I don't see Deandre Hopkins doing this. And I'm kind of in that same boat as well. Juan says, like the stream. Appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Terry says, I'm excited for him and Hollywood. Fingers crossed. Well, he'll be back, right? I think the situation here, Deandre Hopkins will be back. Fingers crossed in week 7. Now, we got to figure out what our schedule looks like. In 10 days, we'll know what our prediction of the first 6 weeks will be without Deandre Hopkins, because this first 6 weeks, it might be telling. I don't think it's going to be the entirety of the season. I don't think it's going to be a situation where we're like, oh boy, man, if we're going to go, 3-3, it's over for the Arizona Cardinals. No, I think that's actually best case scenario, right? I mean, obviously best case scenario is 6-0, but I don't see that happening without Deandre Hopkins at all. I think 3-3 is very attainable, but I think I would like to give more of an opinion once I know what the schedule looks like. And like I said a little earlier, please no Panthers. Please, for the love of God, don't put the Panthers on their NFL football schedule creators. Please no. Please no. Ironburst says football is a team sport. Yeah, definitely a team sport for sure. We lost not because Hop. We lost because Kyler played bad. No run game. Got ran over. Defense and coaching. Well, let me add something else to that as well. I am Bear. Offensive line looked like Swiss cheese, right? I mean, right? It was a whole situation that obviously a lot of our Cardinal fans, they don't want to relive. We don't want to relive what we've seen, in the last part of the season. It was ugly, right? We saw a little glimmer of hope, against the Cowboys game, but a lot of other games that happened towards the end, it was disgusting. Let me just put it that. It was disgusting. Definitely disgusting. Let's see here. There's no I in football team. True. Juan says at least 4-2. I think that's optimistic, but like I said, we got to see what the schedule looks like. We have to. Jordan P., how does a November test come out now that is positive? That doesn't make sense. And that's another situation, right? That's another situation where it's like, it's just so weird. Why did this information not come out before? Why did they automatically decide to release this statement now? The whole situation is weird. I'm weird. Definitely. Absolutely weird. I don't understand why now, when the test was positive back in November of 2021, why now? Maybe you should throw another wrench to this Arizona Cardinal fans, because a lot of us are trying to get thrown off the bridge, right? A lot of us are trying to throw ourselves off a bridge right now, and this doesn't help, right? We've had a lot of drama so far in this season for the Arizona Cardinals. It's absolutely unfortunate. But we do have some time. If you guys do want to jump on and share your thoughts, maybe one more phone call to jump in. If you guys are interested in jumping on to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, there is a link that's pinned at the top of the chat. All you need to do is click on the link and jump on through. One more person we're going to be able to jump on here today before we end the stream. If not, no worries. We'll continue to read into the comments, and let's see what you guys have to say. Free Matter. Why wouldn't you suspend him at when it happened? Facts, bro. Absolute facts. I don't know. It's so weird. The timing is just weird. Why is this happening now? Right? Why now? Adam Schefter. I'm just kidding. I don't blame Adam Schefter. Maybe he had this information a lot earlier. Obviously, the Arizona Cardinals had this information a lot earlier, right? It makes sense of why we got Hollywood Brown. It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. A lot more sense now. Luis Sanchez with the super chat. Appreciate you. He says, let's just be happy we didn't lose him all year. That's fair. That's fair. Appreciate the super chat, Luis. Iron Bear says it takes time to investigate. Okay. I can believe that. I can believe that, but 5 months? Dang. The NFL likes to drag their feet. That's one thing that I'll give you there, Iron Bear. The NFL loves to drag their feet. They absolutely do. And if it took this long to investigate a positive test, sheesh. Absolute sheesh. Darren says, I say we trade D-Hop for CD. the whole CD thing is definitely not attainable at this point. We should have drafted him is what we should have done. Jordan P says, this is the NFL. This is the NFL getting it back in blood for the Texans since we fleeced them so bad. Possibly, right? Possibly. Trying to stick a knife into us and kind of twist it on into our spleen or in our kidney, whatever the heck is on the side of our bodies. That's what it makes it feel like, for sure. Luis says, if we do decent, maybe go 4-2, and we get him back, maybe we can stay healthy for the end of the season. That's the hopes and prayers, man. That's the hopes and prayers for a lot of this Arizona Cardinal fan base right now. Hopefully we can go 3-3. Hopefully we can go 4-2. Hopefully, hey, at this point, no, actually 3-3 sounds good. I was gonna say 4. I was gonna say 2-4, but no. Let's look at what the schedule looks like first. In 10 days, we'll be getting the schedule. We'll kind of get a bigger picture in terms of what the Arizona Cardinals might be in for in this coming season. But I swear, if we get the Rams, if we get the Panthers, if we get Patrick Mahomes, if we get Justin Herbert, oof. Let me just say that right there. Oof. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see to see how this is going to shake out, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Iber? He says, ESPN was saying Green Bay should be calling us to trade Deandre Hopkins because we aren't going to be able to extend Kyler and Hollywood and work out a new deal with Hop due to him making $30 million next year. Let's not. ESPN can go somewhere else with that mess. ESPN can go somewhere else with that mess. I don't want to talk about moving off of DeAndre Hopkins. This year, to me, no fans shouldn't expect any more than a playoff win here. If there's fans out here saying that we're back in rebuilding mode, get on out of here, man. Get on out of here with that mess. I'm not down with getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins. If it doesn't work next year, then trade him off next year. But no, we need everybody, man. Full throttles go. It should be done. The whole not praying, but expecting mediocrity for this team should be out of this, man. I don't want to humor that, honestly. That actually kind of really makes me upset if ESPN is saying some crap like that. Juan says Suns are better. Facts, bro. Absolutely facts. Luis says, what concerns me about Hollywood is his drop passes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. Well, no. I mean, it's concerning, right? It's definitely concerning. But we'll see. I mean, maybe different change of scenery. Maybe a new offense can really do very well for the young man, right? Hopefully. That's what we're all kind of hoping and praying and expecting. Fingers crossed that we can finally get a wish or something that can kind of go into the way for the Arizona Cardinals, because at this very moment, things are looking a little bleak, to say the least. Things are looking a little bleak, to say the least. I did see a comment up here. I think for my guy, where'd it go? Big Will. Man, where did that comment go? Dang it. Big Will says, bro, when do we get a break? We always get into the shitty situations of the end of the stick. Never fails, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Facts, bro. Facts. All right, let's go ahead and get this last super chat in the way. Appreciate you, Free Matter for the Blind. We will be ending the stream right now. Thank you so very much. Last super chat of the night. Thank you so very much. He says, y'all know what's up. We are the Cardinals, a.k.a. the NFL's red-headed stepchild I'm not cool with this at all. Well, the national media will continue to talk about the Arizona Cardinals in this light and exactly what you're saying there, Free Matter for the Blind, unless the Arizona Cardinals start winning some playoffs games in a consistent manner, unless the Arizona Cardinals stop trying to blow everything up in 5 or 4 to 5, or 3 to 4 seasons, blow everything up, or at least win a Super Bowl. The moment we get that is the moment that this national media are going to start recognizing us as a team to talk about. And as of right now, what happened last year, we should not be in any mouths of these NFL people. We shouldn't be. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve it. But you're right. AKA the NFL's redheaded stepchild, 110%. Luis Sanchez with another super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much. He says, who's better, you think, Kirk or Hollywood? Well, that's a good question, man. That's a very good question. I'm going to be biased here. I'm going to say Hollywood. I'm just going to be biased. I'm going to say Hollywood because he's on our team right now. But it's definitely going to take a little bit more than just saying that. I fear that Christian Kirk is going to be very good for T-Law. I think he's going to be very good for T-Law. I think he will. Hollywood, fingers crossed that his chemistry stays upright for him and Kyler Murray. It's all we can kind of only ask for at this point. But Luis Sanchez, everybody that has been super chatting today, thank you so very much. I appreciate everybody for coming through today. Obviously, this isn't the what everybody wants to hear, but it's kind of what we have been dealt as Cardinal fans, and we just kind of have to take it on the chin and see exactly what happens for this next season. Well, I appreciate you guys for coming through. Most likely, you guys will be hearing from me in terms of maybe when the schedule comes out in about 10 days. But as of right now, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cards.